Days of Our Lives, Chad Dimmer's darkest week ahead: custody battle, kidnapping, and family turmoil. Welcome back to NBC News Channel. Today, we will explore one of the most shocking and tumultuous weeks in Days of Our Lives history, where Chad Dimmer faces the convergence of a devastating custody battle and a sinister kidnapping plot that will test every ounce of his strength and resilience. The perfect storm, when personal and legal battles collide. The upcoming storyline in Salem represents a pivotal moment where Chad Dimmer's world begins to crumble from multiple directions simultaneously. As if the legal warfare surrounding his children wasn't already consuming enough of his emotional energy, an even more sinister force is about to pull him away from everything he holds dear. This week will undoubtedly rank among the darkest periods in Chad's tumultuous life, forcing him to confront challenges that extend far beyond what he ever anticipated when his custody troubles first began to surface. The layering of these catastrophic events demonstrates the intricate storytelling that Days of Our Lives has mastered over decades. Chad will find himself caught between defending his parental rights in court while simultaneously fighting for his very survival in circumstances he never could have predicted. The question that looms large over Salem this week is whether Chad possesses the fortitude and resourcefulness to overcome both the legal machinations of his enemies and the physical confinement that awaits him. Jennifer's shocking confession, opening up to Julie about the custody conspiracy. In a pivotal moment that will send shockwaves through the Horton family, Jennifer Horton Devereaux has made the momentous decision to reveal her closely guarded secret to her trusted confidant, Julie Williams. This confession carries significant weight, as Jennifer will divulge not only her intentions to pursue custody of Chad's children but also the more calculated detail that she has personally enlisted the legal expertise of Justin Kiriakis to orchestrate this custody battle on her behalf. Julie's reaction to this revelation promises to be nothing short of dramatic. The longtime Salem resident, who has witnessed countless family scandals and legal battles throughout her years in the town, will likely find herself stunned by the audacity and premeditation involved in Jennifer's strategic move. Julie's relationship with Jennifer combined with her deep-seated animosity toward Ket Green creates an interesting dynamic that could swing either direction. While Julie has consistently demonstrated her disdain for Ket and her destructive influence, she may harbor reservations about the ethics and wisdom of Jennifer's approach to gaining custody of Chad's children. The question that Jennifer must now grapple with is whether Julie will become her staunch ally in this custody war, or whether Julie's moral compass might lead her to question the methods being employed. Julie's decades of experience in navigating family politics suggests that she may recognize the potential for collateral damage if this custody battle escalates beyond what Jennifer has anticipated. Nevertheless, Jennifer clearly felt compelled to confide in Julie, indicating that she values Julie's counsel and support during this challenging period, regardless of whether Julie ultimately endorses every aspect of her strategy. Charlotte's heartbreaking wish, when children bear witness to family dysfunction. Perhaps the most emotionally resonant element of this developing storyline is the impact on Chad's innocent daughter, Charlotte Dimmer, whose yearning for her father transcends the legal and personal complications that surround him. When Charlotte poignantly expresses her wish that her dad would simply come home, the weight of this innocent plea underscores the real human cost of custody battles and parental conflicts that extend far beyond courtrooms and legal documents. Charlotte's emotional declaration will likely trigger a cascade of misunderstandings and assumptions among those who hear it. Jennifer, Thomas, and possibly Julie herself may collectively jump to the conclusion that Chad has deliberately absconded from family obligations to spend time with Ket Green, thereby missing the important Thanksgiving dinner celebration. This assumption, while perhaps understandable given the custody tensions, represents a dangerous misinterpretation of the actual circumstance, a misunderstanding that will ultimately prove catastrophic to Chad's defense in the custody proceedings. When Jennifer and Jack Devereaux discuss their strategy to gain custody of their son, they are ostensibly motivated by legitimate concerns about Chad's parenting and reliability. However, Charlotte's innocent observation that Chad failed to appear for Thanksgiving dinner will inevitably be weaponized during the custody battle as evidence of Chad's negligence and absence from his children's lives. The timing could not be worse for Chad, as his unexplained absence during a major family holiday provides the perfect ammunition for Jennifer and her legal team to argue that he is an unfit or unreliable parent. What nobody in Salem yet realizes is that Chad's failure to appear at the Thanksgiving table has nothing to do with his relationship with Kat Green or any intentional abandonment of his family responsibilities. Instead, Chad has fallen victim to something far more sinister and immediate than any custody hearing could address. The kidnapping. Darkness descends on Salem. The shocking twist that will redefine Chad's entire week arrives when he is kidnapped and imprisoned in the DeMera crypt, that infamous repository of secrets, scandals, and danger that has served as a pivotal location in Salem lore for generations. In an unexpected and disturbing turn of events, Chad discovers that he is not alone in his confinement. Instead, he finds himself locked away with Kristen DeMera and Tony DeMera, two individuals whose complex relationship with Chad and with each other creates an extraordinarily dangerous and unpredictable situation. Chad's confusion upon discovering his location and recognizing his fellow captives will mark the beginning of a tense and chaotic period in the crypt. The psychological and emotional toll of sudden kidnapping, combined with the shock of finding himself trapped with Kristen and Tony, will push Chad to his mental and physical limits. Questions immediately emerge. Who orchestrated this kidnapping? What do Kristen and Tony know about the circumstances of their collective imprisonment? Are they allies or additional threats in Chad's nightmare scenario? The crypt setting carries profound symbolic weight in the Days of Our Lives universe. It represents not only physical entrapment but also serves as a metaphorical descent into the darker aspects of the DeMera family legacy. For Chad, being forced into the crypt means confronting not just his immediate captors but also the complicated family dynamics and historical conflicts that have defined the DeMera name for decades. His identity as a DeMera becomes both a potential asset and a profound vulnerability in this terrifying situation. The desperate race against time. Will Chad escape and triumph in court? As these catastrophic events unfold, the central question that will captivate Days of Our Lives viewers is whether Chad possesses the determination, intelligence, and sheer will to navigate both his physical imprisonment and the simultaneous legal assault on his parental rights. The timing of the kidnapping could not be more devastating for Chad's custody case. While he languishes in the crypt, unable to attend court hearings or mount an adequate legal defense, Jennifer and Justin Kiriakis continue their assault on his parental standing. Chad must somehow find a way to escape from the crypt while simultaneously addressing the false assumptions being made about his absence from Thanksgiving dinner. The narrative presents an almost impossible set of circumstances. Chad must convince his captors to release him, gather evidence of his kidnapping that will be compelling enough to explain his courtroom absence, and then mount a credible defense against accusations that he is an irresponsible and negligent parent. The odds seem stacked almost impossibly against him. The custody battle itself represents a legal and emotional minefield. Jennifer's argument that Chad is unreliable and absent from his children's lives will appear devastatingly credible when Chad cannot explain his whereabouts during critical family moments. Even when the truth about his kidnapping eventually emerges, courts may question how a responsible parent could have allowed himself to be placed in such a dangerous situation. Judges are accustomed to weighing parental responsibility against the backdrop of real-world circumstances, and Chad's predicament, while sympathetic, raises legitimate questions about his ability to maintain safe custody of his children. The shocking plot twist, mysteries lurking in the shadows. Beneath the surface of this already complicated scenario lies an even more tangled web of mystery and intrigue. The hint of a shocking plot twist surrounding someone stealing Chad's mug, a seemingly trivial detail that likely carries profound significance, suggests that there are deeper conspiracies at work in Salem. This mysterious element implies that the kidnapping may not be a random act of violence but rather part of a larger, meticulously planned scheme involving multiple participants and complex motivations. The identity of whoever stole Chad's mug becomes a crucial clue in unraveling the true architects of Chad's current predicament. This detail, seemingly inconsequential to observers unfamiliar with Days of Our Lives storytelling conventions, likely represents a breadcrumb that will eventually lead viewers to the real puppet masters orchestrating these interconnected events. Could the mug theft be connected to the kidnapping? Does it represent evidence that someone close to Chad was involved in his abduction? Or does it point to a larger conspiracy that extends beyond what any single character has yet realized? The broader implications for Salem's dynamics. The convergence of these storylines will have reverberating consequences throughout the entire Salem community. The custody battle between Jennifer and Chad forces families to choose sides, creating rifts and alliances that will shape relationships for months to come. Julie's decision about whether to support Jennifer's custody crusade will influence her relationships with other Salem residents who have varying perspectives on the ethics of the situation. Furthermore, the kidnapping and the mystery surrounding it will inevitably draw the attention of Salem's law enforcement, the DiMera family's internal dynamics, and potentially other residents who have their own reasons for wanting Chad isolated or incapacitated. Marlena Evans may become involved in analyzing the psychological dimensions of the situation. Roman Brady might investigate the criminal aspects of the kidnapping. The ripple effects will extend far beyond Chad's immediate circumstances. Conclusion: the test of character and survival. The week ahead will prove transformative for Chad DiMera in ways that extend far beyond legal precedent or courtroom verdicts. He will be tested not only as a father defending his parental rights, but as a human being fighting for survival against forces both legal and sinister. Whether Chad can escape the crypt, reclaim his children, and restore his reputation in Salem remains uncertain. However, what is absolutely certain is that the upcoming week in Salem will provide Days of Our Lives fans with the kind of compelling, multifaceted storytelling that has kept audiences engaged with the show for generations. The chaos in the crypt awaits, and Chad DiMera must find a way to overcome it all.